Welcome back, traders and investors. We have David Grau on the line, and he is president and founder of FP Transitions, author of Succession Planning for Financial Advisors. Now, I know of somebody named Scott Grau. Is any relation to you?
Not to my knowledge. It's a pretty unusual last name.
It is. It is. That's why I was going to ask you. So, tell us about your education and your market background.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, oddly enough, I started out about 25 years ago as a regulator in the securities field. So I was an enforcement officer for the state of Oregon, and I served as the state's liaison to one of the NASD branches on the West Coast at that time. From there, attended law school, completed it, took it past my bar, and was a securities attorney for about 10 years. And interestingly enough, my securities practice was all about RIAs. I helped them set their businesses up, run them, defend them, grow them, and occasionally take them down. It turned into an M&A practice, which kind of led directly into FP Transitions. And that was kind of how FP Transitions started and where it's evolved from now, about 17 years ago.
Okay, all right, and just a little bit more detail about FP Transitions, what you do for your clients, and how you help them, make a transition either to retirement or share the wealth with someone new coming in.
Well, we're located out in Portland, Oregon, and FP Transition stands for Financial Professional. We work on the independent side of the industry primarily. And what we do is we help this really interesting group of people create succession plans. So we've got a staff of 30 hardworking and very intrepid and creative individuals, and we sit down, and the first thing we'll do with folks in this industry is provide education. What's possible? What can you do with your one-person practice? How can you give this thing the quality of durability, we call enterprise strength? And that whole process starts usually with a very formal valuation. We now do about 1,200 valuations a year. And generally, that's the kind of the key that unlocks the door into the future for most of this industry and our clients.
Okay, I want everyone in the chat room to pay attention here because we're going to do a book giveaway here based on the information in the interview with David. And talking about the book here, is that just what inspired you to write that? How have the sales gone? And are you planning on doing another book?
Great questions. Thank you. Second book is already underway, and we're going to focus a little bit more on how to buy and sell practices. But this particular book, it's called Succession Planning for Financial Advisors, Building an Enduring Business. Now for sale on Amazon.com. It's been there for about 2 weeks, so pretty early, but sales have been brisk right out of the gate. The book is about what we think is the Achilles heel of the independent space, and particularly the RIA channel. Good people, good practices, and they've evolved nicely around one common thing in their business model: put the clients first, serve just one master. They're doing that well, and that's working really nicely for this industry, and it's growing, it's getting stronger. But the
Oh,
Achilles heel is that these one-owner practices tend to die off at the end of the founder's career. They don't have any durability, and our book is written to fix that, to change that.
okay, and discuss the open marketplace concept of practice transition for advisors for the industry beginning in 1999, and now have assisted more than 2,000 independent advisors.
Certainly, thank you. When we started the open market concept, I think we, like a lot of folks, thought that as this industry got older, and it is an aging industry to be sure, we thought they were all heading for the exit door at, age 60, 65, or 70, and that they do what, we thought was the one smartest thing they could do: sell the practice they'd spent a lifetime building to somebody who was younger, ready to go, and could buy that practice and pay real value for it. So we started FP Transitions around that singular concept, and it's worked pretty well. But one of the things that we've learned a couple of important things. One, interestingly enough, every time we list a practice for sale, almost without exception, 50, 60 interested buyers will show up and throw their hat in the ring.
Wow.
It's a confidential, blind system, so they don't even know who the seller is. Yet, 50 to 60 buyers per every seller. Every practice that lists sells, and typically pretty quickly, 6 to 8 weeks, and then there's a 1-year transition period. So the system, the open marketplace concept, turned out to be lethally efficient. The flip side, though, is that not a lot of people in this industry want to sell and walk away for a couple of real simple reasons. They love what they do, and they need the income stream for the rest of their life, like most entrepreneurs. So that's how FP Transitions has evolved to serve those goals and those needs, in addition to helping those who want to sell and walk away.
Oh, okay. Sounds like you found a niche here. And finally, the RIA space has changed a lot over the last 5, 10 years. Could you discuss some of those changes that have gone on, and what changes are you anticipating in the future?
Certainly. I think one of the neat things about the RIA space, and I've been, as a regulator, as an attorney, and now as president of FP Transitions, I've watched it grow a lot over the last 2 decades. But what's interesting is the RIAs have never gotten far from their core value, their roots, and that is client first. We serve one master, and we do it well. And we always have our focus on what's in that client's best interest. The interesting thing, though, is that most of the RIAs we talk to have a wirehouse background, and that's where they got their training, and it was a good training to be sure. The downside of that is they come over to the independent space with wirehouse tools, revenue sharing arrangements and commission splits, and different things that just don't work in the independent space. So we think those changes need to be made, evolution of the industry to building enduring businesses of transferable value that can serve the clients for their lifetime and their wealth needs, not the lifetime or the career of the RIA. And we think it's evolving nicely. We're going to give it a push in the right direction with this book.
Right, the brokerage house industry, really took it on the chin. Obviously, some of the biggest, baddest boys going down, Shearson Lehman. So that really opened up the thing for RIAs, and it's a big transition. I'm sure you help them through that transition process as well. So David, thanks a lot for coming on, discussing, financial planning, the transitions, and financial advisors. Maybe we'll have some of our people in the chat room here make some money and get into that aspect of the markets. Thanks for coming on today. We hope to speak to you again.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Okay,